Hello everyone, it's Robert Tinnen with Primary Residential Mortgage here in Reno. I just wanted to go over a few things today. The topic I want to discuss today is the fear of a housing bubble. So a lot of people are really concerned about the rising house prices right now, and they're afraid that if they get into the market too soon, they're basically going to miss the bubble. So what they're referring to is back in 2008 when housing prices were increasing at an exponential rate. Once all the bad loans started coming due, people had to make their balloon payments. They couldn't afford their house payments anymore. That's when things started to happen and houses started to foreclose. So once houses started to foreclose, that drove down the prices of the existing inventory. Now, one of the other factors from 2008 that kind of caused the housing bubble was the fact that there was very little equity in people's homes at the time. What that means is the home value that they had compared to the loan amount that they had out on the house was in the mid 60s range. So their equity they had was just under 35%, basically. Now, what makes this time different is currently we do not have a equity problem. So the people who own houses on average have about 35% of loan amount left over their house, or in other words, 65% of equity. So the reason why it's valuable to mention that is if people are thinking about, what would happen if they weren't able to make their payment. So at this time now, if people are unable to make their payment, they can easily sell their house, which houses are flying off the market right now. And so if they can easily sell their house, protect their equity, there's no need for a foreclosure. So if there's not going to be any waterfalls of foreclosure going on, then at that point you can see why it's a different environment at this point than it was last time in 2008. So one of the other aspects of this time around right now is the fact that we have very little inventory. So back in 2008, we had over 3 million houses in inventory in the United States. Currently, this time around, we only have 1 million houses of inventory. So what that's going to say is we're going to continue to see competitive prices, competitive bidding on houses as they come to market. So as we see competitive bidding on houses as they come to market, that will continue to drive the housing prices up even higher. So if you're thinking about waiting for the housing bubble to burst, and so you can get a discount on some houses, you might be waiting a long time because right now it's just a different environment than it was in 2008. And I hope that you're not waiting to buy a house at this time. Thank you. And if you have any questions about the housing bubble, please give me a call.